So I'm sure you guys noticed, part 1 and part 2 of sleeper cars did so well. Ever since I've uploaded those 2 videos, my subscriber base has pretty much doubled. It's unreal. And honestly, I owe it to you guys. So I want to say thank you. In the last video, I said if I get 500 likes, I'll create a part 3. But this time featuring some of the most iconic sleepers of all time. And of course, you guys crushed it and got 500 likes in one day. So here it is. The first sleeper is the Ford Taurus SHO, easily one of the milestone cars of the 1980s. This was arguably one of the best sleepers to come to America. Back in the day, the original plan was for it to be a limited production project, that is until it caught on to car enthusiasts. Even the commercials for the SHO at the time marketed how limited it would be.
The new limited production Ford Taurus SHO.
Ford instead decided to increase the number of SHOs and was able to sell around 15,000 of them in the first year. Talk about a classic bait and switch. Unlike the regular Ford Taurus, the SHO received a reworked suspension, dual exhaust, heavily bolstered sports seats, and 15-inch wheels. And of course, the biggest difference was the engine. It carries a Shogun 3-liter V6 engine that produces 220 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. And get this, the engine was designed and built by Yamaha, which was unavailable in any other Ford vehicle. The SHO is able to run from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds. And yes, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like much in today's world, but keep this in mind. This was back in 1989 where the top level Mustang GT only made 225 horsepower from a 5-liter V8 engine, and the top level Corvette only made 240 horsepower. The Ford SHO not only provided similar performance numbers, but it did so in a basic boxy 4-door sedan. In fact, at the time it was the fastest 4-door sedan you can buy for less than $50,000. Back then, the Ford SHO sold for $20,000. It features a humble appearance while secretly carrying a unique engine that not only performs, but looks good and has all the practicality you need from a sedan. Well taken care of examples are becoming harder to find, but if you do manage to find one, just know you'll own a future collectible. The second sleeper on the list is the GMC Cyclone. There is also the sibling GMC Typhoon, which is arguably more sleeperish, but I believe the Cyclone will be more remembered. Inspired by the Buick Grand National, GMC created the fastest production truck ever, and that also counts today's trucks. And yes, it's faster than the Dodge Ram SRT10 and the Ford F-150 Raptor. And the best part is that you can't even tell by looking at it. But what lies under the hood will convince you otherwise. It comes equipped with a 4.3-liter pushrod V6 engine with a Mitsubishi turbocharger that produces 280 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. Add the fact that it's an all-wheel drive with a torque split of 35% to the front and 65% to the rear with a limited slip differential in the rear axle. Some sources say it can run a 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds and some say it can run it in 4.6 seconds. And it could complete a quarter-mile run in the low 13 seconds. The only thing I dislike is that it came with a 4-speed automatic transmission, which by the way was the same one used in the Corvette. It was clear what GMC's goal was for the Cyclone, and that was speed. While yes, it has a bed in the back, it really couldn't carry much. It can only haul up to 500 pounds and tow up to 2,000 pounds. But let's be honest, this is a truck that no one will ever haul cargo with. Empty is the way it will usually be driven. Well, maybe a bag full of feathers, but that's about it. Sadly, the production of the Cyclone only lasted 1 year, with just under 3,000 units made. Even though it might have been a sales flop at the time, the limited production truck has since grabbed the attention of automotive enthusiasts and collectors. Jay Leno, one of the biggest car collectors, owns one himself. He bought it new over 25 years ago. The third sleeper on the list is the Audi RS2 Avant. For those of you that didn't know, this was Audi's first RS model, which stands for Racing Sport. To most people, it looks like an ordinary Audi 80 Avant from which it's based off, which makes it that much more of a sleeper. This car was a collaboration between Porsche and Audi. In fact, it was built in the same production line as the Porsche 959. If you're somewhat familiar with Porsche cars back in the day, you'll notice that the RS2 has Porsche sprinkled around its exterior. The side mirrors and the wheels come from a Porsche 964 Turbo, and it also has a Porsche-inspired long strip taillight. Porsche also designed both the braking and the suspension for the RS2. But the performance is where it shines. It's equipped with a 2.2-liter inline 5 turbocharged engine that produces 311 horsepower and 202 pound-feet of torque. And thanks to its all-wheel drive Quattro drive system, it can put all that power to the road. It can sprint 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds. It can also reach a top speed of more than 160 miles per hour. One interesting fact is that it can do 0 to 30 miles per hour in just 1.5 seconds. Which was faster than the legendary McLaren F1, the fastest car at the time. And let's not forget that the RS2 Avant is a wagon, meaning you get all the practicality you need. This is a proper family wagon backed with the performance that can leave most performance cars lost at a traffic light. If you're looking to get your hand on one, they're pretty rare. They were only in production for a year, and Audi only produced a little over 2,900 of them. None in the US because let's face it, Americans don't buy wagons. Just a side note, I almost didn't include this car on the list. It was between the Audi RS2 Avant and the Buick Grand National GNX. I ultimately decided to go with the RS2 Avant because in my opinion, it appears like more of a sleeper. I felt like the Grand National was somewhat obvious. Which one seems like more of a sleeper, the RS2 Avant or the Buick Grand National GNX? The fourth sleeper on the list is the Lotus CARLTON, also known as the Opel Omega and the Vauxhall CARLTON. At the time, this was one of the fastest sedans the world has ever seen, and yes, there was once a Lotus sedan. It was the fastest sedan in the world. GM pretty much gave Lotus a Vauxhall CARLTON GSI and allowed them to go crazy with it. The one thing you'll notice about the exterior is the paint. At a glance, many people might perceive it as black, but if you look closer, you'll notice a hint of green. The CARLTON only came in one color, and that color was called Imperial Green. Moving on to the heart of the Lotus CARLTON. It comes equipped with a 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 engine that produces a whopping 377 horsepower and 419 pound-feet of torque. Combine that with a 6-speed manual borrowed from a C4 Corvette ZR1 and a limited slip differential from a V8 Holden Commodore, and it does 0 to 60 in just 5.1 seconds. And has an insane speed of 180 miles per hour. You know how insane that is for a car in the 90s? For reference, the BMW E34 M5 did 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds at the time. Not even in the same league. At the time, if you wanted a car that was that fast, you would have to spend double what you would spend for the Lotus CARLTON and not have the practicality. A family sedan that can go up to 180 miles an hour, even for today's standard, that's insane. It's the ultimate sleeper. Only 950 units were produced, which results in them being hard to find for an affordable price. The fifth and final sleeper is the Volvo V70R. You guys probably thought I forgot about this car. Well, I didn't. As many of you might know, Volvo has always been known for their focus on safety, but there has been some times where they decided to go a little outside of the box by producing sleepers, and the V70R is one of them. This is a truly special car, but sadly didn't receive the attention it deserved. Let's face it, here in the US, wagons aren't popular, and when they were, for a period of time, Americans really didn't find them cool. It's such a shame. In my opinion, wagons make the best sleepers. No one ever expects them to perform, especially one that looks like the V70R. Other than the R badges scattered around the exterior, the lowered stance, the minimalist rear spoiler, and the 5-spoke Pegasus aluminum wheels, this looks like an ordinary grocery getter. But that's what you want everyone to think. The Volvo V70R carries a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine that produces 300 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. Top it off with a manual transmission and all-wheel drive system, and the VR can do a 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds. Like I said earlier, it might not sound like much, but back in the 90s, this was quite impressive. Just like most cars on the list, production numbers are extremely low. Only around 3,400 were built. And you can honestly tell because let's be honest, how many of these do you see on the road? For those looking for one, there is good news. The Volvo V70R didn't really do a good job maintaining its value. You can find them in the used market for around $15,000. Not only do you get a practicality machine, but you get a pretty sweet sleeper too. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Comment below and let me know which of the cars in this video was your favorite. And if you think I missed one, make sure and let me know as well. The comment section below is one of my favorite things. I love the discussions that take place. And yes, I read every single comment. Like always, thanks for watching. Till next time.